Hey guys, alright, we are here to film another You Asked. So this is going to be a Dylusions paint comparison. Well, a paint comparison. I'm doing this comparison because I got my Dylusions paints in, and I know I promised you guys some kind of comparison a long time ago, and I never did it. So I'm going to do it now. I picked 2 colors of Dylusions paint, and then I picked similar colors in some other paints that I have in my stash. So I have Joe Sonia paint in rose pink to go with the Dylusions bubblegum pink. And then I have Dina Wakley's Media heavy body acrylic. And I have a Anita's all-purpose acrylic craft paint. This is, I think, from Hobby Lobby. I have a Dylusions vibrant turquoise, and then I have Atelier cobalt turquoise, Dina Wakley heavy body acrylic turquoise, and then this is Americana turquoise blue. It's a lot bluer than the other 3, but it's the closest that I have in a craft paint. And I probably have some golden around here somewhere, but I thought 4 was fine. You know, we don't need to go crazy with this, I don't think. I could be wrong, but you know. All right. So I'm going to first, and I'm going to do these tests on Rolodex cards. I'm going to write the brand name at the top. Hopefully I spell it correctly. Okay, and then we'll do the other one. For Dina Wakley, we're going to just put DW. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to just do a scribbly line all the way across both cards. And then we're going to put the paint on with a makeup sponge. So that's the recommended way to use Dylusions paint. No, well, not with a makeup sponge, but with the Tim Holtz blending tool. So we're going to use makeup sponges. That way I can just throw them away. And I have a lot of them, so it's not a big deal. I might be able to get away with 2 for each. Let's see what happens. And then we're going to see, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to see how fast they dry, how well they cover the black pen, and how matte or glossy they are. That's going to be kind of our comparison. So let's get our paint on here and let's see what happens. This one's been shut up for a while, I guess. So some of these are more of a heavy body paint, so they should do more in the way of covering up the pen mark like that one did. I'm going to zoom in for you so you guys can see better. There we go. So we'll do the blue test first. So that was the Americana. Now let's do the Dina Wakley paint. And so you can tell the Americana is a lot bluer, but that was the closest that I had. So the Americana covers better than the Dina Wakley paint. This is the Atelier, which is it's a lesser expensive artist paint. It's not golden by any stretch, but it's a good paint. And see, you can look how much thicker it is. It completely covers up the black line. All right, and let's see what, and it should dry pretty glossy, the Atelier. Let's see what the, oop, holy cow, I almost got that all over my shirt. Okay, and let's see how the Dylusions does. Well, that was a lot of Dylusions paint, so let's make it a little bit more fair. There we go. Okay. So it covers more than the Dina Wakley paint, in my opinion, but The Atelier covers everything. With the Dylusion, I have trouble getting these lids on. I understand why she did them in pots, but I'm not so sure I'm a fan of the pot. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'm just used to tubes. All right, so that's the turquoise paint. It's already, the Americana's dry, the Dina Wakley's almost dry, and so is the Dylusions. The Atelier is really wet. The artist paint, the Atelier, should be the one that takes the longest to dry, because generally speaking, they usually take a lot longer to dry. These others should take less time. It does look like the pigments in this are better. This one seems to be a little bit chalky and kind of thin, the Americana. All right, let's do the pink and let's see what happens. So this is the Anita's Craft Paint. I'm pretty sure this one's from Hobby Lobby. I keep some of these around for when I'm working with students or having a paint party or something here at my house. Not that I've had one of those recently. Alright, this is the Dina Wakley Magenta. And this one, by the way, on the Anita's is fuchsia. This is magenta. I think I got closer with the pinks than I did with the turquoise in color. So we're getting about the same as on the turquoise. In the Jo Sonia, I picked rose pink, which is not really very close. It's more orange. Actually, let me see if I can get a different color. Oh, yeah. So this is Brilliant Magenta. I think it's closer. That other one's a little orange. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is Jo Sonia Brilliant Magenta. Yeah, this is better. Which again is an artist paint, but it's a lesser quality, almost a craft paint, so. And then this is the Dina Wakley. I'm sorry. Diane Reevely, Dylusions paint. Holy cow, I need some more coffee or something. And look at the pigment in that. That's the thing with Diane's paint. It's really well pigmented. I mean, look at that pink. Those are all pretty close in color, and you just can't beat the pigment in the Dylusions paint. And if you're just applying it with a makeup sponge or with a blending tool, it applies really easily. It's not really a paint to be applied with a brush. But these are our two tests. I will be back in a few minutes. After they dry, I'll let you know which one dried last, and we will take a look and see which one is matte, more matte than the others, and which one's more glossy than the others. And we will see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our pink sample, and from left to right we have Dylusions, Jo Sonia, Dina Wakley, and Anita's Craft Paint. Now if you look at the sample as I'm turning it a little bit, you'll see they're not quite dry, but almost all the way dry. The Dina Wakley and Anita's paints are just about as matte as the Dylusions paint. The Jo Sonia is a little bit more glossy, not a whole lot. Mostly, at least in this color, I like the pink. I do think the Dylusions has a little bit better coverage and a better pigmentation than the Dina Wakley or Anita's paint when applied in the same way. You can see these two colors are pretty similar. Maybe you can't on camera. In the little viewfinder, this one looks a lot purpler. But in real life, they're not that. They're pretty close. I don't know. I mean, I like the color of the Dylusions paint. Her paints are really well pigmented. This is the turquoise one. The Atelier paint, the artist paint, is not dry, but it's almost all the way dry. And you can tell, if I can tell, I don't know if you can on camera, it's a lot glossier, has more of a satin finish than the Dylusions paint, which is a lot more matte. And the Dina Wakley and Americana paint, when applied in the same fashion as the other two, are pretty matte also. Again, the Dylusions seems to be much more pigmented than these two. Of course, pigment-wise, it's not necessarily match to any artist paint. They're always going to be better pigmented, but if you're not a painter and you just want some paint to work in your art journal, I think the Dylusions paint is really the way to go. So anyway, that's my opinion. And here are my 2 samples. And look next for me to try another You Asked using the Dylusions paint on the jelly plate. So I don't know how that's going to work. They do dry fairly quickly, so my concern would be, do they dry too quickly before you can really get a decent print? I don't know, but why don't we find out? So that'll be in the next You Asked. Look for it soon. And if you have any other questions or something you want me to do in a You Asked video, you know, message me or put something in the comments below and we'll give it a whirl. All right, have a good day, everybody. Go out and do something nice for yourself because you deserve it, and I'll see you later.